All right, everybody. We should be live now for our latest episode of Indie Inquiries, where each week myself and Sharky here take a look at indie game marketing and examine store pages and provide advice and grade them on how well they are at being attractive to consumers and where they can improve. How are you doing, Sharky?
Oh, I am well into the chaos at this point.
Me too. As soon as I was probably getting ready, I got like 10 different emails of fires regarding my book and game wisdom that I had to put out. So it's always fun, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and I've been getting, I don't know, 20, 20 or 30 different PMs on Discord, probably about and each one of those being active conversations. So like I'm only getting, probably like a few thousand messages a day, private messages on Discord, because I'm in the process of hiring two people, for my company.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, ironically, it turns out to be three because I did not plan to hire a musician.
And apparently, I've been possibly missing out on potential job offers and consulting work because my website didn't want to work. Oh,
Yeah,
good.
everything's just on fire right now, isn't it?
Yeah, we're still in masochism mode, I suppose.
Yep.
But enough about our heartache. We'll say that for the Sunday show.
Yeah.
So, for those of you new watching, each week we pick several games, several of which have been submitted by developers on our respective Discords, which if you'd like to join, you'll find links in the description down below. And we're going to be examining their store pages. And we can take a look at these through Steam, Itch, however, whatever store you prefer to use, we can take a look at. And this week we have 3 submitted from developers, and then we have several that we've looked at through store pages and Keymailer that will be taking a deeper and darker look, depending on how bad they look.
Yeah. And of the 3 submissions, 2 of them are from your Discord, and 1 of them are from my Discord community.
Yep. So I think with that, anything else in terms of our little introduction before we get started?
I think I'm going to have to fix this screen.
Okay.
But besides that, oh, God, I really have to fix it. I don't know what the heck's going on here. It's really broken.
Mm-mm.
Let me. Yeah, for some reason my shark took up the entire screen, basically.
All the games are sharks this week.
Yeah. That is not the right screen.
Hey, Will.
Okay, there.
Okay.
I need to get us a layout for this so that things look more professional.
All right. So, with that, let's start with the first game. This was submitted on my Discord. This is the Chaser's Voyage. And we go from basically top to bottom with our examinations. So, let's start with the video. Don't know how loud this will be.
Your debts to Lady Styx.
Just turn it all the way up. It'll be fine.
All right.
Weapon systems are at 100%.
Shields are fully operational.
Chief, engines are at max strength.
Well, I do like how the text is at least overlaid over the game
Can't
footage.
take anymore.
Got the primary thrusters working again.
All weapon functions
I feel like the UI of the game, though, really, really lacks.
Yo-ho-ho!
Yeah.
Surrender your booty or you'll be walking the space plank.
It feels super generic and
Too bad for you.
Very static images and that little thing in the bottom.
yeah, I don't think I think the characters in there might actually work,
Target destroyed.
but they don't work as the way they have them because they look kind of bad. I don't know if it's through compression or through the static effect they're applying over it, but something's not looking good about it.
Now, it seems like they are going, like, with all the game systems in this. But I feel like this is a little long.
Chaser, what are you doing?
It is 2-minute long trailer.
Oh yeah, that is way too long of a trailer. At least for your first trailer. You want your first trailer to be around 30, 45 seconds.
Mm-hmm. Let's see.
And I'm unsure on the gameplay if you want your UI taking up this much room on the bottom of the screen.
Yeah, it's a little big. Now they have the call action at the end, which is good.
Goodness.
Mm-hmm.
We survived.
Launch it soon.
Let's see, bright at midnight. All right.
And they have the little touch at the end. That's a good touch at the end.
I feel like the first quarter of this could be cut a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're like from where they have where is it? Battle Pirates. That kind of Battle Pirates and Bounty Hunters. That's at the 32-second mark. You could probably cut like a good 15 to 20 seconds of that like right away.
Yeah, I don't know exactly what I would cut, but I do know that I would definitely make it a lot shorter. But I think before making a new trailer kind of thing, I would definitely address the UI issues. You know, make it everyone smaller because, you know, it just takes up way too much room on screen, in my opinion. And I would make it look better.
Mm-hmm.
And also fix whatever it is that's making those images not look good on the center console.
It could be compression. They look a little like blurry if you look at some of the screenshots. Yeah, like the UI. I guess here's a question: the whole kind of like rounded kind of like buttons and UI. Like if you look at the, I think it's like the 5th or 6th screenshot where it says press X to skip, time until fleet departure. Does that look good to you, or I think that still has like that very like low quality look to me because I see a lot of others do that.
Yeah, that is very generic looking in its, you know, in its design kind of thing. There's nothing to it. I mean, there's technically something to it, but it's all. I mean, like they're using UI tricks that do work in some cases, but they do not work here, kind of thing. I mean, they're not perfectly square. They have angles. They have like a shade on the inside, kind of thing. They're 3 different colors, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But they look plain and generic, kind of thing.
Yeah.
There's nothing special to them. I mean, the colors don't stand out. They're all just very flat colors. They don't go with any other part of the game. There's like no other part of the game that uses colors like that, kind of thing. They're, you know, except for maybe the UI on the front side.
Yeah, and the menus as well. Like the menus look very generic.
Yeah, like I think they need to go back and hire a UI artist or become a, you know, because like this UI, I know that even if it's functional in the proper way, which I know taking up too much of the screen isn't, but you know, if it's functional other than that kind of thing, like I know it's going to absolutely kill their sales by having that UI in their game kind of thing, because it just has no visual quality to it. It's I wouldn't necessarily say generic, but I mean in some ways it is kind of thing. And you know,
I think to a Will's comment, if you're on the 2 points, the art style between the UI and the game are so different. I would agree with that. And if you're going to the UI take up that much space, it needs to pop. And he uses like the Diablo example, which is a really good one. Like, if you're going to take up a good quarter of your screen real estate, it's got to look as impressive as it can be. And
all of the UI is almost almost a single color. It's not technically. It's a like gray gradient behind here with a little
left to right.
crack and a little bit of buttons. I mean, they put details on here. I mean, like, and that is something I would definitely recommend. But I mean, like, the details, I don't know. They don't make the image kind of thing. Like it just feels really generic. I don't know exactly why this feels generic because I mean they've done good things here, but
it's an original UI. It's just, I think part of it is that I'm gonna watch a little bit of the footage again. I just want to see how this looks in motion. Like if you look on the right hand side, the WSEA part, I don't know what that's supposed to be.
Yeah.
The whole like day and money thing, like I don't know if it really needs to be in that spot. Like that's a what? Like this like main window here. Like just to have like 2 indications, day and money, seems like a waste of that space.
I'm not sure what screen you're talking about. But...
Like on any screenshot where it says like day 58, money, like you have this huge pane in this UI.
Well, they're using that to replace the slot where the characters is.
Yeah. So there should be like more information there or something.
Well, they probably already displayed all the information, and that's just there to take place for when the character is not there. So like, I can understand more information not being there, but that needs to be a lot smaller. I mean, you don't need the character image to be that large, kind of thing. And I recognize that they're doing the UI to look like a spaceship kind of console kind of thing. And again, that's a good thing. But I don't know what it is about this. It looks just so generic and plain. I wish I could put it into words, but there is definitely something to it kind of thing. And they've clearly put forth the effort and tried to, go with style kind of thing. But and I recognize that, but like something in here looks really, really bad kind of thing and generic kind of thing. Maybe it's because of the size. Maybe if they compress the information, make this shields bar probably, half the size, the whole size half the size, the oxygen half the size, and maybe rearrange these buttons over here and rearrange this and shrink down this middle camera kind of thing a good bit and just overall pull the thing down and shrink down a lot of things and put some animations in here like blinking buttons or something, but you don't want to distract the player at the same time.
Yeah.
Something polished kind of thing down there. And maybe that'll work. I'm unsure.
I think another issue, like at least with the trailer, is that you're just seeing the same thing in every screenshot. Like there's no differentiation. Like I feel like this would be a game like if you have multiple ships, maybe have like different like UI, not exactly UI schemes, but maybe like change it up based on the ship. Maybe instead of an all gray gradient, it could be maybe a red gradient or a blue gradient. Like show some kind of progression with that UI.
I don't know about that because that could cause confusion.
But I do agree with you that the shield hole auction, this could probably be, cut in half, or maybe instead of text, have a symbol.
Well, I mean, you could do the, like a actual shield icon for the shields, Hull, you could do a picture of a spaceship, and oxygen, you could do like a couple of bubbles kind of thing. But, the text is also fine as long as it's smaller and readable.
Yeah, I think that UI and like kind of the menu UIs are like the 2 biggest things that stick out to me. It just looks it looks very generic, and it doesn't look like it's matching the rest of the game.
Yeah.
Now, one thing, like, to at least give some compliment, one thing that I do like that they did is at the 1 minute and 5 mark, or 1 minute and 4 mark of the trailer, when you see the ship landing and they're going through like different planets and it's like showing off different environments, I think that's a really good part. Like, if you can show off different elements, different guns, different backgrounds, different enemy types, that's always something good to show in a trailer because it means that you have content.
Yeah. And, that would be really good near the beginning. I mean, maybe if the trailer actually started at that point, then it would be about 45 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't know what was before that, if there was anything before that I would really want to keep. But, at that one point you said about 1 minute and 2 seconds or whatever, there's a lot of good stuff after that point.
Yeah.
Their best stuff is after that point. And again, you want to have your best 30 to 45 seconds on display for your thing.
Yeah. Another issue that I found with the first part of this is that when they're like talking about kind of like different features, like allocate power to cruise systems.
Oh, we're down on features now.
Oh no, this is still on the trailer, or this is still on the like it's at the 11-second mark. I don't see that happening on screen. Like I'm assuming the bomb rate UI is what they're talking about, but I'm not really seeing that being represented.
Yeah. Arturo in my chat suggested it might be the black lines. And yeah, they didn't use any black lines in anything else.
Mm-hmm.
So, black lines in the UI, I mean, it would be hard to not use them, although those are technically not black lines, but really dark gray kind of thing. Mm-hmm. It's really hard, because like I can tell they've done the work, here in the UI, and they've tried to make it really good. They've added detail and stuff and style to this, and I mean they really put forth the effort into this. I can absolutely tell it. A lot of work it went into this UI, and they did a lot of really good things. But somehow
it's just
they did
not
all these good things, and it's not working at all.
Yeah. And this is where it gets really difficult, is it's not a case, as you said, it's not a case of them, just throwing this together and trying to make a quick buck. But it's hard to kind of, say you did something unique, but it still isn't good. Like, I think the back half of this trailer is better than the first half.
Yeah,
like,
definitely.
I would say from almost like 55 seconds, 58 seconds in, that is probably the better part of this trailer. Like, I feel like too much of the first minute is overly generic and not descriptive enough. Like, it just keeps showing you shooting enemies.
Yeah.
And I think you could probably...
And when you have this orange UI where you're, I guess, picking missions kind of thing, like this is definitely on the generic side. This is, I don't think this is a case of the bottom UI where they went and did these tricks to try to make it work. They didn't really do much here at all. And I don't think that color goes with it either. Like, I don't think it's good color. Yeah. I don't think it's good colors. I also don't think that it's got much style to it at all. I mean, I have a feeling they were going for a computer interface because, like, I have computer interfaces in mind, kind of thing.
I would honestly, like, the more that I'm watching this, I would, like, for like my first trailer, I would really cut like the first minute of this footage. And like from like where you see like the ship landing on planets, and go from there. Like make that like a 59-second trailer. Because I mean, if you look in the if you look in the back half, you see, navigate a war-torn galaxy, there's combat, there's shooting. We still have the UI and kind of the mission selector.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a horrible trailer, but
It's way too long.
yeah. All right.
Now you can make a second trailer on top of this
And
to
make
put
that-
after.
Yeah, and you can do that as long as you want, or do 4 2-minute long trailers. But
Or
the first,
you do 5 2-hour trailers
Yeah.
if you want. But you want the first trailer to be preferably 30 to 45 seconds.
yeah. All right, let's scroll down. Look at this page, because we've
All
spent
right.
a lot of time just like looking at a trailer here.
And the UI.
Uh-huh. Yeah, and just Will said the same thing that I did. That the quick shots between the different biomes is the best part. Yeah, whenever you can show different elements, like different guns, different bosses, different environments, those are really good shots for a GIF or for a trailer.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so the very first GIF, I don't like it. I'm noticing like a lot of static. I wonder if that was either a style choice or compression.
I'm pretty sure that's compression. And, because I've seen the same thing on my spinny card GIF because we had to compress it. And I would try to see if I could not compress it kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
After, you preferably redo the UI kind of thing.
Yeah. I mean,
But seeing the UI in action, you get to see those, little bars change and whatnot. Oh, I think I get what it is. I think I understand now from this GIF. You said you didn't understand what the WS and all that stuff was below. Those aren't actually buttons. Those are, which they look like buttons because of the aesthetic that he's gone for. But they're not actually buttons. They're actually, showing what the bars above them represent. Because those are basically like HP bars or something above there.
I'm assuming it's weapon, shields, engine. I don't know what A would stand for. Agility?
Might be hull.
Or armor.
Yeah, or armor, yeah.
Yeah. So I think this would be a case of...
I wouldn't do... number one, don't make those look like buttons. If they're not going to be buttons, don't make them look like buttons.
Definitely.
I know the aesthetic is kind of calling for that because, starships have buttons and all this other stuff in the cockpit, but don't make non-buttons look like buttons.
Yeah, the symbology, I think, needs to be worked on with the UI.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I think you can definitely stand to, have either symbols in there, like, put like a gun symbol for instead of the W and like a shield icon instead of the shield.
Engine could be just like a little thruster.
Or like an engine logo, like what you have like your check engine soon light engine kind of thing.
Now, from like a formatting point of view, the page works. We have different sections. We have, the custom text, bullet points. We have GIFs to break up text. So
you're going way down there.
Things look presentable. Like this looks like a really solid store page on that front.
Yeah. Aside from the UI stuff.
And the compression.
Yeah. The compression on the GIFs.
Like casual, survive, we have different difficulties, customized UI colors. I like the final screenshot that shows like the different ways you can customize your ship.
Yeah. I think that's really cool. It's not even needed in the game, but it's this little cool extra polish. I mean, the game seems like a pretty cool game. I mean, we've been really harping on the UI, but it is that bad, but it's not intended to be that bad because I mean he's whoever the developer has clearly put in a lot of work into that UI kind of thing.
Yeah.
Just something about it's not working despite all the work you've been put into it, and that is a real shame. I know when I remember when I put all those work into the emblems and everything, the icons for the stats and everything. And man, when I submitted them to my group and everything, man, everybody absolutely hated them. And I think that's this case. And I had to scrap it completely. And and they came up with a suggestion about, instead of icons, let's just fill the whole block in with color, kind of thing. And you can make them glow. I was like, actually, I kind of like that idea. So we went with that. But that got rid of one of the functions of readability for those who are colorblind, kind of thing. So we had to find a new way to address that kind of thing by allowing the glow colors to be changed.
I think my favorite GIF on this page is the last one, the one with like all the ships like firing and shooting each other in the background.
Yeah,
like, that looks really nice.
Probably the first GIF.
Yeah. I feel like the parts are here, but it's not all firing on all cylinders. So
I think the UI is really downgrading the game. And, I think that if he changes out the UI, like all of it kind of thing, for a really good UI, not that this one didn't have a lot of effort put into it, effort does not make it work kind of thing. But get a really good UI in there, a smaller UI for when you're actually playing the game as well. And I think that will night and day change this game kind of thing for the better.
Yeah, I'm not sure if they're, and I'm just going to say they, just to be honest, so I'm good there. But they're doing a lot, I think, here that works. But like we say, when it comes to UI, UX, every little issue feels it's like a minor cut is like 10,000 cuts when it comes to UI.
Yeah, because it's like, if it has an issue and you see it once,
it's going to be there again.
But UI, you don't see it once; you see it
every
thousands upon thousands of times. So it is death by tens of thousands of cuts, not just death by 100 cuts. It's it's a paper cut, but it's no big deal until you get 10,000 of them.
Yeah. So before we move on, I think it's time to give it a grade. So,
I mean, the trailer's subpar. I mean, will we count the UI in there in the grade? Because that's not part of the store page. I mean, it affects the store page, but it's not part of the store page.
Yeah. The trailer is definitely subpar. It's not the best one we've seen. The store page itself is organized really well, other than the compression.
Yeah, the compression on the GIF and the fact of the UI in the GIFs.
I would give it maybe in the C range. What about you?
I think if we don't count the UI, probably a B minus. But if we do count the UI, probably a D plus.
So Shark is either kinder or more critical than me. It's safely extreme.
Yeah. I think the UI is really killing a lot of the store page though, because it's in all the GIFs.
Yeah, like the third to last screenshot. This one does not sell this game at all.
Third to last.
Where it's just set armor color with those very generic UI and those buttons.
Oh yeah, that is. Ooh, that is. I know it's not asset flipping, but it looks asset flipping. It looks. Actually, the next one does too. The last three do.
Yeah.
All the last three, like they scream like asset flip, and I know it's not an asset flip, but it screams it kind of thing, and and that's bad. I mean, my last game had some things that definitely pointed towards being an asset flip, even though it wasn't in any means.
Yeah.
And that's definitely something you want to avoid, because people will and this person, the developer, may have already run into this about people telling them to get this no effort crap show off of Steam. And it is definitely not a no effort crap show, but like, I could see where your average consumers that have no knowledge about anything game dev related kind of thing could see that, could come to that conclusion.
Yeah.
But you definitely don't want that.
The gameplay looks good. Like, again, as someone who likes side scrollers and shmups, I like what I'm seeing. I like the idea of trialing the different planets. But again, I'm not your average consumer. I'm the one who plays all these games. I know everything behind them. So I can look past these issues. But, like, even if they would clean up, like, the orange UI and, these, like, very generic-looking prompts, or generic-looking windows, that, like, in of itself, I think, would add a lot to this game. But,
I just noticed that the like the shopkeeper orange UI, that is the exact same as the UI in the last 3 screenshots.
Yeah.
It's the exact same UI, but it looks totally different because it's transparent. One's on a light background, one's on a black background kind of thing. And that can work in certain circumstances, but I don't think it works in this one.
Yeah.
I think I get what they're going for. I think they're going for, these are computer screens kind of thing. And, they're not working kind of thing. What I would do, honestly, is put a actual computer screen binder ring, or like the edges of your monitor kind of thing. I would put that edge kind of thing around it and make it look sci-fi and spaceshipy. You know what I mean?
Make it look like the rest of the game kind of thing. Like, if you're going to use, like, a ship UI for your bottom pane, then the other stuff should be, ship-related or sci-fi-related. It just clashes, I think, too much.
Well, it is ship-related, but, like, it's the, like, it's a pop-up transparent, hollow screen kind of thing. And it doesn't work because of everything in the game, right now.
Yeah.
So I think that it can't be transparent. It has to be a solid color, and it needs a border around it, kind of thing. It can't just, and what you could do is, like, I would add more, maybe more shape to it kind of thing. And what I would do is attach it, put like a metal border around those kind of thing, and maybe have them animate up and down, sliding, maybe have this bottom one, on this particular screenshot, the third from the last, have that one, the armor color and all that, have that slide up, and then have the values slide in, because I'm assuming that the bottom one slides in, and then it slides up. And then you pick one of these things, and then it slides over the adjuster value kind of thing.
Yeah. Also, something I just noticed that is bothering me on that third screenshot. Do you see the bottom, like the 5 buttons, chassis color, armor color, and so on? You have chassis, armor, and cockpit, kind of like the rounded kind of buttons, and then go back and help are kind of pointed. Like,
yeah, I would definitely go with one style.
Yeah. Like, it doesn't, like, it's trying not to be generic, and by not being generic, it makes it look generic. I think that's kind of like our overall thoughts for this game.
Safely stream.
Hey, Ken. We are examining this game, The Chaser's Voyage, and we're about to move on to our next dev-submitted title.
I was suggesting maybe a UI along like StarCraft, and I'm not familiar with StarCraft's UI. Do you know what he's talking about, Josh?
Well, UI with StarCraft would be like very like a very diegetic UI. So like each faction would have its own unique, accents to it. So the Terran one was very, computer, very like hard kind of colors. The Zerg was like flesh and organic looking. And yeah, we're analyzing the store page and how the game is being represented.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I probably wouldn't do like all these different styles. I would probably do one style and do it spaceshipy, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But a spaceship design that works for all the ships, kind of thing. Like, and one that doesn't take up so much of the screen, at least on the active gameplay section. And one, it just looks generic kind of thing, and you don't want that.
Yeah, and like the more I look at it, like I'm not sure if you can see my mouse cursor. I know it sometimes pops up during these things, but like if I pause it or if I try to pause, like cut this in half, like where the hole is, like the top of the hole bar, that I think should be the height of that UI. Maybe a little less than that.
And you're talking about on the bottom section?
Yeah. Because it's just way too big.
It needs to be maybe not cut in half, but like you need to get at least a third of that screen space back.
Yeah.
And this top section serves just cosmetic function, and I would get rid of that, and I would get that effect from somewhere else. Rather than pop something out. Make room down there at the bottom and pop something in. Kind of thing.
Alright. Let's move on. We may just spend we'll be here for the whole hour talking about this one.
Yep.
Alright. So the next game, this is the one that you got submitted, Shark, and that is Endo Crisis.
And
I believe
the developer, I think, is in the chat.
Yeah. So let us watch this trailer here.
Let me know if you're here. Yeah, I thought. Okay. Another side-scrolling shooter.
Yeah. Music, I think, fits it really well.
Yeah, it does.
I like the lighting in the tunnel.
This zoom in part kind of, made it look a little bit compression-y.
Yeah.
So I would probably...
And there's neon.
Like that building right there, really do. Yeah. Those buildings are really good looking. I don't like that alert beep though.
Yeah, it was a little annoying.
Beep is annoying.
Alright. I'm not sure if I like when the text goes over the black screen.
Oop. And he's got a call to action here at the end on a flashy animated screen. That's really good.
Yep.
I seen one attack from the boss that looked like he had basically no tails, and it just teleported across the screen. I mean, that could just be the trailer kind of thing, but that one right there, that one at like a minute kind of thing.
Yeah, like you can see the arm
really
wind up for a second. Let me see if I can get back there. Yeah, like there's like a quick wind up of that animation.
Probably too quick.
I would say I like this trailer. Let's see.
Unless it's longer than that, and we just, it's edited out of the trailer.
Shoot to power up. I like the part at about 30 seconds in when they're shooting the crystal in the cave to light it up. I like that part. Because that's not something that I normally see in shmups.
Yeah.
And that's really good. Yeah, like the city design, I really like the buildings as well.
Yeah, those buildings are really good in that city.
I will have to say, like, the boss or mini boss ship at like 44 seconds in, that looks very much like the R-type ship. Or maybe that's just me. Maybe I played too many shmups.
Yeah. The
Yeah.
boss here, I don't know. It kind of looks plain compared to everything else.
It's like, I think on the line. I
Yeah,
like the punch. I do, as another little bit of a detail that I want to point out, that the kind of like yellow aura, like on his like little shields, is exactly where the bullets or where his projectiles are coming out of. Because I've seen games that they'll have details like that, and the bullets will just be like somewhere else on the body. Alright. So let's scroll down and look at the rest of the store page.
Screenshots first.
Oh. The screenshots look like they do come from the trailer, though.
Yeah, this first screenshot definitely came from the trailer. I would not do that. Second one, again, looks like it came from the trailer. I would also not do that because you want to put new content that is not in the trailer here in the screenshots.
I think they're all from the trailer.
One, yeah.
Yeah, and that does... And the
fifth one
reason,
might not be. I don't know.
The reason why you don't want to do that, because it makes your game look smaller than it might possibly be. Because right now, I only see 3 environments. The city, space, or like space-ish, and the cave.
Which there's nothing wrong with only having 3 environments if that's the case. But, I mean, you still want it to look like something that isn't in the trailer because they've already, Steam puts the trailers up front because they suspect you're going to watch those first, kind of thing, and most people do. And if they get to this part, you don't want to be showing them the same exact thing they've already seen because then they're going to be like, well, what does this game have besides what's in the trailer?
If you have a trailer of another boss that you haven't shown in the trailer, I will put that as one of your screenshots.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, there's a game last week, I think it was the one that was submitted as well, where, like, one of the bosses they shows, like, giant mechanical snake kind of creature. Yeah, and that was a really solid one.
And I was like, yeah, that should have been your first screenshot, too. And I think it was one of his last.
Yeah.
But you need to get different screenshots, and, whatever is your most all-wowing, screenshot, put that as your first screenshot kind of thing. And then maybe do, if you have an informational one like upgrades or something like that kind of thing, go with that probably for your second one, kind of thing.
Yeah. All right. Let's take a look at the page itself. So we do have some issues here.
Yeah, definitely.
It is very plain. You do have the different text. You have different sections here. You have bullet points. That's good, but definitely,
there's number one, not very much text at all down here.
Yeah,
and you probably want at least 2-3 times as much text as this. But you don't want a filler text either. You want to actually have something that you're talking about. But and doing this little blue colors here, that's really good. But you don't have any GIFs or images down here. Like you could put like a cool header up here, cool GIF, whatever. And basically what I would do is put a GIF that describes what you're talking about. Like you have 0 lives kind of thing. So maybe put a GIF of, people getting shot, destroyed and game over kind of thing.
Like right here where it says, you must have 100% power to activate the emergency shield. There should be a GIF of you activating that emergency shield. Like there should be, the classic, oh no, all the bullets are about to hit me, hit the smart bomb, kill the shield, kill the bullets kind of GIF.
Yeah. And you should be trying to put a GIF, as many GIFs as you can in here, but again, make sure they're different from what's in the trailer and your screenshots kind of thing.
Yeah. And like for a game like this, like if you're going for a difficulty and over-the-top shmup, there should be one kind of like glory shot GIF, just complete screen coverage of bullets, or like a very impressive like amount of stuff being shot at the player to like really show somebody that, hey, if you like challenging shmups, look at my game.
Yeah. Although if you're not going for that, then don't.
Yeah, definitely.
But either way, you should, like be putting a bunch of GIFs down here and, like put text with the GIF, to explain
and the text
what
should match the GIFs, obviously.
Yeah. Match the GIFs with the text.
Yeah.
And, you want, again, probably about 2 or 3 times as much information or more kind of thing on there.
And
you want to give them as many reasons to buy the game as possible, but at the same time, don't make it filler, kind of thing. Like you can put filler statements of, this game is so good, to make you wet your pants or whatever. You know what I mean? Whatever you want, kind of like that. But like,
yeah, a few more GIFs, some more images. Just something like a game like this, like anytime you have like action-based design, you want to show that action off.
Mm-hmm.
So here, like this is like the interesting thing, like there really isn't as much to talk about with this one compared to the first game because I think more was done right to it, even though there's less content on this page.
Well, the store page was better on the other one, all the about page. Yep. But the other one had such UI issues kind of thing.
That it really distracted, unfortunately. Yeah. So, I would say grade-wise, trailer was definitely good. It was above average for me. It's like right at that minute mark. Like, I don't know if I would actually cut anything from this trailer.
Yeah. It is a bit too long, but I don't think there's anything I would cut either.
Mm-hmm. It's very fast paced. The music matches. I like how another thing I just noticed from the trailer, you show off different weapons. I saw like the tri-shot. You have like your normal 3 lasers.
Yeah. Normally, we would be against black screens like this where you have 0 lives here at 55 seconds. Mm-hmm. But it's just up there for a second kind of thing. And, it's just pancaking in between and it adds that impact. Mm-hmm. But maybe add a little bit of decoration here, a little like,
something on the
here
screen.
In each corner, a little like bookend kind of, corners there.
The only thing I would maybe suggest to add to this trailer, I'm not sure how you would fit it in, will be to show like your smart bomb emergency shield power. Because if you don't have a GIF of that down below, like if that's a major part of your game or a major part of survival, you do want to show the player that in some way, shape, or form.
I think it'd probably be better as a GIF than
because I don't think, again, like there's nothing I would really change or add to this trailer.
And the thing is even though he's over a minute, the fact is that last basically several seconds is just that,
action.
And that's fine, like, I mean, it's not, it's technically part of the trailer, but it's not part of the trailer at the same time.
Yeah. So grade-wise,
I think he did pretty dang good on his trailer. I think the trailer's pretty up there kind of thing.
And the screenshots, screenshots look good, but they need to be different.
Yeah, I think the screenshots are a wash because they're all the same as the trailer kind of thing. And I also think that the about this page is, lacking a lot.
Yeah. So there's good content, like there's good stuff here, but I don't think it's as presented as well as in the first game.
Mm-hmm, exactly.
It actually makes it really tough to grade.
It seems like these games have, the first one and the current one have like opposite problems. The other one, had problems with the trailer. This one doesn't have any problems with the trailer. The other one had fine,
screenshots.
Had good screenshots. This one does not. The last one had, really good about this page, but this one doesn't, kind of thing. It's like, and this one doesn't have any UI issues, but the other one had really, really bad UI issues.
Yeah.
They're like almost completely opposite of each other. Like if you guys could fuse your and they're both side-scrolling shooters. So if you could just fuse,
we'll have like the perfect game, right?
do the DVD fusion, we'll have the perfect game and store page kind of thing.
Yeah. I would put, I don't know, like for me, I feel like this would be like maybe like C, somewhere between like C plus to B minus B territory.
I would say B minus, and the reason why I would say B minus is while the screenshots are all the same, and I would give that a 0 kind of thing. And this down here, I would give this the about this page, I would give that probably like a D kind of thing. But that trailer really sells it kind of thing in so many ways. So, I mean, your entire grade pretty much rides on your trailer.
Yeah, definitely.
Your entire, grade rides on your trailer. The trailer was really, really quite solid. But everything else needs a lot of work kind of thing.
Yeah.
But, just getting that trailer is just so hard because, and the trailer is the most important thing because that is the very first thing people will see when they come to your page.
Yeah.
And it'll only be after that point when they'll be looking at your screenshots. And it'll be after that point when they'll be looking down here in your About page. So nailing that trailer is like the most important thing. And, it
works.
Got that pretty much.
Yeah, and like Shark said, like basically it'll be watch a trailer, and then they'll probably just immediately scroll down after, and they want to see images, they want to see GIFs to really get them excited about this game. Yeah,
it looks like you definitely put in effort on that trailer. It does for sure.
Yep,
and you're very welcome for all the help.
And as a minor nitpick, I would also suggest if you have like a Twitter or other social media to put it down here in kind of like the little social media box. Because if you want people to reach out to you, you have to give them an easy way to do that.
Yeah, there's a website down here, but that's it. I would definitely link
Twitter,
your social media and stuff.
Yeah.
And, definitely give them all the connections they can. Josh specifically looks for that when he goes to, talk to developers and do interviews and whatnot.
Through the whole week. All right. Well, I think I'm ready to move on. Anything else you want to point out?
No, not really. He might do some more tags up here.
Yeah. I think also as a little funny, before we started this, I wanted to add more games. Shark said we may go over just like the 3. I think it may be leaning closer to Shark's prediction at this rate.
It always is.
Yeah. All right. Let's get to our next one then, and that would be Black Chain. And this was another one that was submitted. This was by a developer on my forum. It's not a shmup. That would be hilarious if we had 3 different shmups submitted.
Yeah, that would be hilarious. But it says RTS, so I don't think it is. Unless it's an RTS shooter. You're very welcome, Arturo.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for submitting it.
Yep, thanks.
All right.
And if you know anybody else that should submit, give them, hook them up and tell them come over here and check out the Discords and whatnot, and submit your game. And we'll be glad to take a look at it. So you ready to get into this trailer?
Yeah, I'm watching it now.
Oh, you went on ahead without me. This first part is way too slow.
Yep.
Way too slow.
Does it look compressed to you, or is that just my imagination?
The game footage looks like it's zoomed in, and that can be a good thing, but it's getting very compressed.
And they put their name on the very first thing.
and that text was just way too slow and way too.
I mean, it's good that it's being overlaid over gameplay footage, but it's very slow, very nondescript gameplay footage.
And they're going to lose so many people in that first few seconds. You know, the first 5 seconds is absolutely critical. Like, you look at the first, 5 seconds, and all you see is Boarding Presents. And at that point, most people are going to click off and be like, this is boring. I quit.
At the 29-second mark, where you see kind of like literally half a second of story, that doesn't fit this trailer. I like some like the character models. I like how like the guns and stuff actually like respond when they're firing.
I would almost say cut out the first 22 seconds of this.
Yeah.
And maybe put that text overlaid in not that exact speed, but put it fast in this section after.
Yeah.
Because that first 20, 30 seconds just really drags on. And very, very slow.
Like looking at some of like the UI, like this looks very similar to StarCraft, and just like having like a little like character window in the bottom left. But something is not working for me with this UI. I'm gonna go to the first screenshot.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what it is on this UI. I mean, they clearly put all kinds of detail and style in there.
Like, here's one. Like, do you see like in the second screenshot in the upper left where it says like "Fine 300"? I can't read that text. That like
that might just be when they took the screenshot, because it might be in the middle of typing it out.
Yeah. But I like that border, like from the first game. You know how we said that looked very painfully generic for their windows and their UI. I like that look in this game. Like, I like how this is like the borders and look.
Yeah. This one has another weird UI problem. It's not as bad as the first one, but and they've definitely, like the first one, put a lot of effort into it. It's just some of it's not working.
I think part of it is
here in the top corner with the the black behind them does not look good.
I think another issue, if you look at the second screenshot where all 4 kind of UIs are on screen, they're kind of like not like equal to each other. Like the bottom left map comes up like almost like a quarter of the screen, but the bottom right one is half of that. The upper left UI comes out like this far, but then the resource one comes down here. Like, it looks mismatched.
No, it definitely is. And it's very scattered, and you don't want your information scattered.
Especially in a strategy game.
Yeah. I would probably move these resources down here and combine them with this smaller UI down here. And I would probably even move... If this is just a message in the top corner to what you need to do, maybe just put that in the center of the screen, kind of thing. If it's just a pop up and then go away kind of thing, maybe just pop that up over the actual game in the middle of the screen and then have it go away, or have it minimized down here towards the bottom, kind of thing.
Wait a minute. All right, there's something weird. If you look at the first screenshot, it says editor in the bottom right-hand corner. What the hell is that?
It might be a in-game, or a dev thing. In which case you don't want it to show in your screenshots for your game. I'm unsure if it is. Do we have the developer in your chat right now?
I don't know. Oh, and I just noticed it's also in all the in-game footage of the trailer itself.
Ooh, that's bad.
That is not good. They're clearly trying to... Oh, yep, there they are. they're clearly trying to emulate StarCraft, like just by like how this UI looks. We have in the upper right hand corner, resource A, resource B. I'm assuming this is unit cap.
Yeah. So Borton, what is this editor thing? Is that a dev thing, a dev tool where you edit maps or edit scenarios, or is that like, what is that? So he says the trailer was last minute and the UI was somewhat changed.
I like what you did with having each unit having their own like little custom like video icon. Again, that is very StarCraft, Warcraft-esque.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you definitely want to be careful about that. Yeah, you're showing the dev build of the game. You don't want that in the trailer.
Yeah. We need to, turn that off or something for when you record and take screenshots for the trailer.
Yeah. And I think this is another case where the back half of the trailer is better than the front half.
Oh, yeah. The front half of the trailer was just a bore fest,
Yeah. And I will say this, like the last 40 or the last like 13, 14 seconds where you see like the kind of like the different art, black chain coming winter. I like that art. I like that kind of like aesthetic.
Yeah, I think right here at the 20-second mark when the guitar kicks up, I think that's where the trailer really begins, kind of thing.
Yeah. Like, and it says like a new age of war. Like that would be like a good place to kind of start this trailer at.
Yeah, I think that if you just cut out the first 20 seconds of your trailer, it would be a world better trailer. It would be 30 or 40 times better if you just remove the first 20 seconds.
Yeah. And like my favorite footage of this trailer is at the 35-second mark, where you see kind of like the giant yellow mechs in the background coming down and shooting on the enemies. Because I like that level of detail, like with like the units. Now it looks like the screenshots are different from the trailer,
which is good.
Mm-hmm.
That's definitely a good plus. Although we don't want the editor thing in them. It looks like the editor is only in
the first one,
which is the worst one to have it in.
Yeah, true. Unfortunately,
the most wowie.
Yeah. All right. Let's scroll down. The year 2080. I like you have like the little image border here.
Yeah, that's a really good image border.
Class of RTS. You do not have.
He doesn't have any GIFs down here, and I think he really needs a lot of GIFs.
Oh, this is the developer of that Rum and Gun game. I think that's one that we played on stream.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. Yeah, no GIFs, no images, or other than just that first one.
Yeah, and he only used the blue for about this developer and nothing else. Like he needed to include more kind of sections in here, and probably just more in general in here.
Yeah, like a GIF of base building would be good. A GIF of enemies or units fighting would be good.
And again, you want text to sync up with the GIFs.
Mm-hmm. And like where you say like map editor, if you can put a GIF of somebody actually editing a map, I think that would also help as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like you have like really solid points, base building, map editor, combat, and I think like 3 GIFs to go with that would help as well.
Yeah, although I would probably try to put in a few more GIFs than that. I would probably go 4 or 5, maybe more. I mean, more is generally better, but you don't want to go overboard.
Yeah. Now, one thing that I think could be a potential red flag is that you have LAN multiplayer, but no online multiplayer.
Mm-hmm.
And
because LAN multiplayer is not going to sell very many people.
Yeah. Now,
if you're going to get, and it's also going to be like everybody's going to be complaining that they can't play multiplayer because they don't have a LAN.
Yeah, and that's the if you're building this strictly as a single player story, if that's your focus, that's not the worst thing. but
Mm.
it's almost a case of, no multiplayer may be better than poor multiplayer.
Yeah, and I would definitely agree with that. Like I would probably either hide or completely get rid of the LAN multiplayer, or actually do real multiplayer in here.
Mm-hmm.
And as Josh and I know, multiplayer is very easy to put in. You can just skip lunch and do it in an hour, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like, and it's kind of a weird thing. Like, you look here on your description, Blockchain's a story-based real-time strategy game, but then, of course, you mention, LAN multiplayer. Like,
Hmm.
and again, it's tough because I know why you put that in there, because strategy game and multiplayer are very bread and butter kind of designs.
Yeah, and I think that if you don't have real multiplayer, even if you just go single player campaign kind of thing,
Mm-hmm.
I think not having multiplayer is going to still shoot yourself in the foot.
Yeah. And it's tough because it's one of those challenges when you're developing like a classic or an established genre, is that people come to expect certain things. Like if I play a platformer and I can't jump, that would be a very big issue. Or a first-person shooter where you can't use a gun.
Yep. Or a RTS where you can't multiplayer.
Mm-hmm. I like some of the
Steam does have the a lot of new stuff with their multiplayer stuff. So
Mm-hmm.
that kind of stuff can like I mean they don't even need like real like matchmaking. Like just get them peer to peer. If you can get them peer to peer multiplayer, I think that would be good enough. Like it's not going to be the best, but I think that would be good enough.
Yeah.
And again, I know that's a lot of work kind of thing, but it's a lot less work than matchmaking and all that other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
At least generally it is.
Yeah. Like, I'm still just like looking at this UI. It's not the worst UI I've seen, but something is just bothering me about it.
I mean, it definitely has style and whatnot to it, but it's also very scattered.
Yeah.
And you don't want players, eyes to be distracted to every four corner of the screen and never pay attention to the center.
Yeah. Like, I think the objective in the upper left hand, I think that's okay if that's just there for a second and disappears. But
yeah.
I don't know.
I think it would also be good in the middle of the screen kind of thing. And then, maybe if you need to keep it up, minimize it down to the bottom.
Yeah. I would honestly suggest where your resources are in the upper right, put that as a UI element, either like bomb left on the minimap or maybe bomb right above your unit command, so that
I would probably go above the unit commands to sort of equalize the two sides.
Yeah, that could work as well. Minimap comes up to here. I don't know if you can see my cursor, but then, like this little spot above the unit commands where it's not like directly equal to the minimap, you could put your resources there.
I know they can see the cursor on my side.
Okay.
So I don't know if he's watching my stream or not. So you can see my point of view, but like right in here, where you would put your resources and whatnot. Of course, you still want that divider in there. You definitely want to keep them separated, but together. Separated together. Is that a safe way to stream?
Yeah. I mean, like, in terms of, like, your UI, like, if you look at the fourth screenshot where you have, like, your character talking up there, I like the accents on your dialogue box.
Oh, yeah, that looks pretty good.
Yeah.
I would probably center that UI box, though, on the screen. Center top. Because it looks odd, that it's not against this side, and it's definitely way not against this side. I would either center it or put it against one of the corners.
That's where tooltips are? Do I see tool? Oh, I'm assuming. Oh, I guess. So, like, if I put my mouse over, like, if I was playing the game, I put my mouse over one of those icons, the tooltip will pop up above that.
Then maybe I would put the tooltips beside it.
Maybe.
Either that or put the icons beside it. The currencies and whatnot.
That could work, like a little like vertical pane, like that's kind of like attached to it almost.
Either one of those will work, but I would, I would combine it into that UI one way or another.
Mm-hmm. So now for the tough part, grading this.
Well, I think the trailer feels quite hard because of the first 20 seconds. The first 20 seconds really, really just kill. And that's like the most important time is the first 5 seconds. And the second most important time is the first 15 seconds. And, that first 20 seconds just really, I don't see many people staying on your trailer past the first 20 seconds. And you've already lost probably, I don't know, 70% of, that's just a number I'm pulling out of my butt, by the way. But I'm guessing that by that point, by the 22nd point, you've already lost 70% of your sales.
Like right where it says a new age of war, that should be, I think, where the game where the trailer starts.
Yeah, right where the guitar kicks in and the new age of war. If you could just edit out like that first 20 seconds before that point, your trailer will be.
And get rid of the editor as well.
Yeah, and you take footage that doesn't have the editor in it. Because that first 20 seconds is just horribly, horribly slow and whatnot. And screenshots, again, that first one have editor in it. I don't think the screenshots are repeating anything that we see. So, I mean, that's good. Besides that first one being editor, but like a lot of these, like, units are just standing around. The second one, they're not. The second one's showing some action. Third one's showing a little bit of action, but like you're not seeing bullets fly kind of thing. And I don't know if that's part of the game, kind of thing, like an issue with part of the game. Maybe you should put some highlights with some like really bright, overexposed, like pinks and reds kind of thing, or blues kind of thing to show like lasers and projectiles kind of thing. Or if this is the timing that you took the screenshots. But if that's in the game, I would make sure your screenshots kind of showed that. And if that's not in the game,
I think it is. If you look at the 30-second mark of the trailer, like there's a part where your units are shooting, and there's like all kinds of like yellow trails out of the shots.
Yeah, I would probably make those trails more brighter, maybe more color, maybe not go with a yellow, but maybe a red or a blue kind of thing, because it's yellow on brown, and the two colors don't exactly stand out apart from each other. So I would change the color of that, honestly, those blasts, because like you really want those to stand out, and you did a really bright color. They're team colored. Then, and everything you're showing off is from the yellow team.
Yeah.
I would not be showing off the yellow team then.
And I think another thing is that if you have different environments, like a lot of these screenshots look very samey. Like they have like the same kind of like desert mountain background.
Yeah. Here's a question for you, Josh. Do you think that the shots should be team colored? I don't think. I mean, in my opinion, that doesn't add anything to the game. It could take something away, though.
I think I would actually, like, if you have a different faction or like different units to show off, I would put them in like the trailer. So it's not just, generic soldier A, 500 generic soldier B.
Yeah, but what do you think about the colored for the factions? The colored shots. I mean, it doesn't make sense in a real world purpose. Of course, games are fantasy and whatnot, but like it doesn't make sense that people would color their ammo kind of thing. And I mean, it's a level of polish, but I don't think it adds anything. I think it takes away from the trailer and screenshots and a whole bunch of other things. And it may take away from the actual game because, if you're playing the yellow team, you're really not seeing much.
It is a nice touch. I'm watching it again just to see. I don't know. That's a really tough point.
I think I personally would go with a single color. You know, I know you probably put a good bit of work to make it that way, but I would probably personally go with single color, and maybe not just single color, but multiple colors for every team. You know, like this attack is red, and both teams have an equivalent of that kind of attack, and then this attack is blue, and both teams have a equivalent of that, and this one's purple, and all teams have an equivalent of that kind of thing, which shows sort of almost like power scaling kind of thing. That's what I would more do.
That could work. Like, have each unit type have their own, fire animation.
Type, but I would do ammo type or not weapon type. Yeah, that would be more a thing. Rockets are going to be a different color than machine guns, than like lasers and stuff like that. That's the way I would go with the colors. Is differentiate by the type of weapon rather than by the team. Kind of thing, and make sure they're all bright colored and stand out against the background. And I would not use yellow for it, unless that was for the machine gun kind of thing, because a little bit of yellow spurts kind of thing everywhere, that kind of works, because they're not supposed to exactly stand out because there's a lot of them.
All right, so let's do. I think it's gray time. And I think. Unfortunately, I think I would put this on the lower scale. The trailer is not the best one we've seen today. There's not a lot of descriptions or images. I hate to say it, but I think I would put this in like a D minus category.
I think the trailer definitely gets a D minus or an F kind of thing because of the first 20 seconds. Like if you take out the first 20 seconds, it'll probably get a C or a B kind of thing. But because of the first 20 seconds, and the first 20 seconds is what matters most. If you screw up your first 20 seconds, I mean, you screwed up your entire trailer basically. So like I would say the trailer, because of that first 20 seconds, gets a D minus or an F kind of thing. The screenshots, like they're not bad, kind of thing. But the issue with the colored of ammo kind of thing really kind of presents itself, and
the UI being like all over the place.
Yeah, and I would say that gets it, maybe a B, maybe probably more like a C plus kind of thing. So, but then we look at the about page, and the about page has like no images besides this one header, which is really good. The one header is, but no anything else is really, really bad. And the lack of only using the blue text in one spot, the lack of GIFs or explain anything, that gets that really hurts this grade. I would say this would be a solid D plus maybe. Maybe a D minus, but overall, I would say, the trailer counts for so much in the grade kind of thing, and you really shot yourself in the foot with that one. And I would say overall, probably like a D minus kind of thing, because it's really harsh that the first 20 seconds mean so much in the score, but they mean so much on the store page, because the fact is that first 20 seconds, if you don't get the consumers in that first 20 seconds on that trailer, nothing else on your Steam store page matters, because they're already clicked off of it. That first 20 seconds is the most critical.
And then when they scroll down, they see like nothing here. Like anyone that you kept with all the way through the trailer is going to just think, what else is there to this game?
And again, like you said, the multiplayer is going to be another issue, but that's a game issue.
Yeah, not a store page.
Yeah.
Alright. What do you think about the cover?
Take you see meaning this thing up here. We didn't look at that. The where the name is.
The cover? I think it looks alright.
Yeah, I think this is pretty good.
Mm-hmm. And you do have your Twitter, you have your social media, which is good.
Could probably use a couple more tags here.
Yeah.
On
Single
your
player.
page. You got your Twitter, but you don't have anything else. I would, if you got anything else, I would definitely include it down here.
Mm-hmm. All right.
And I would definitely try to get something else, like a website.
Mm-hmm. All right, but we are almost at an hour and a half, and we only looked at 3 games this week, which is a terrible ratio. But we did. What was that?
Yeah, I figured it was going to go this way. I didn't figure we were going to be an hour and a half. I figured we were going to be an hour after 3 games.
Mm-hmm. So I think it may just be good to end things here, and maybe save these other games for next week, depending upon what is out. If we get any more submissions.
Yeah, I think that's what we'll do. We'll save all these for next week.
All right.
And we'll just
at this rate, we may have to do like a second show of this each week to get through all these games.
Yeah.
All right.
Maybe if we keep on getting 3 submissions every week, maybe we just turn this into submissions kind of thing, submissions only.
It depends. Maybe as word gets out about this, we'll get a lot more.
Yeah,
so it seems to be helping, or I hope it's helping people.
Yeah, I hope it is too. And you're very welcome, Bordenton. If you know anybody, else that needs help with their store page, send them our way. Link them to Josh's or my Discord kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Again, links are down in the description. And show them the YouTube channels of Josh's and mine, and send them our way, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Have them submit their games, kind of thing.
And again, I'm always looking for developers to interview and games to spotlight.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think with that, we will wrap things up for Indie Inquiries this week. I would like to thank developers who submitted games. And like Shark just said, if you are working on a game, whether it's out or coming out, that you'd like us to review your store page on, definitely get in touch with us. You'll find links to Discords, Twitter, and all that in the description down below. If you want to catch these shows live, they are held around Thursday, like 3:30 ET starting time. And if you want to watch us talk more about game design and game dev topics, tune into the Safely Extreme show. That is Sundays, starting around 4:30 ET on our respective channels.
Yeah, and of course, Josh has his nightly game streams and kind of random developer interviews. Whenever the developers can come, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And on my channel, I have my Tuesday game streams, and I have my Friday dev streams where I work on my game, Neon Continuum, which may be the next big thing coming out. Whenever it comes out.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure someday we'll just review and just talk smack about his store page when the time comes.
Yeah, we will probably do that.
All right.
And I'll have to let Josh take the lead on that one.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, Josh will be talking about loot boxes the entire time, probably.
We have all those pay to win. All right, everyone. That will do it. So thank you again for tuning in. Come back for daily discussions on game design here and on game wisdom, where he's in the art and science of games. Until our next show, take care.
See ya.